Howdy y'all, welcome to another episode of Modded Minecraft. Unfortunately, this episode's going to be a little screwed up because the first section of this video is vanished. It's just gone. It's just not there, and I have no idea what happened to it. I looked in my waste bin, I looked everywhere. The audio's there, but the video is completely gone. But I don't want to turn around just because this is actually, there's stuff behind me that's like episodes later. As I was sitting here trying to put this one together, I noticed video is gone. I mean, it's just, I checked anything that was saved that date and there's nothing. So I have no idea where it went. Like I said, I even checked in my waste basket to see if I somehow accidentally deleted it. And it's just gone. But what we kind of went over is, you see these two tanks right here. What I did is I kind of created Buildcraft tanks. These are just really deep pits. Can't really see how deep they are because they're filled up now. They were a lot more empty in the original, so you can see it goes down about 20 or so blocks. They're about 6 wide, or 6 by 6. I didn't do a circle or anything just because they look weird. Circles look weird when they get this small. But here we have a floodgate, Buildcraft floodgate. So this one was getting pumped in from a world that I'm not going to run right now. But we'll take a look at the first world that I did. It was an ocean oil field biome. Later, you'll see in the video, of course, that we do the other one. But in this particular one that was shown on this part, I still have up and running, and that was the oil fields biome. So the oil was getting pumped. Now it's just on this drum here. It was getting pumped in to this tank, and then it's these refineries here take the oil and turn it all into fuel, and then it goes into this other floodgate that fills this up. So these are like world tanks using Buildcraft. You can make them any size, any shape, fill them up, and then it gets pulled out with a pump over here. They do require power. Doesn't matter how you get to them. You can use redstone. Well, I don't know if you can still. I don't know if you can still use the little cheapy engines from Buildcraft or not. I didn't try it. I just used tesseracts. But this is almost filled up. This is drained out just because of some other stuff that I'm currently doing. But this is our new area back over here, and I don't want to show you that room either. So we're going to try to turn. Don't look over there. Because that's not in this video. I'm not supposed to be here. We're going back in time. But what we did originally is I did an oil field biome, like I said, and it turned out really strange. So if we go over there now, let's make sure that's working. Okay, it is. I'm doing some power stuff with the base, so I just want to make sure everything's powered up. So we're going to dial that, and you'll just see how extremely bizarre this world is. And what I did initially... Oh, I really should have taken my... This is not the right world. Did I grab the wrong world? What the hell is this? What the hell is this? This is not the world I want. Okay. Let's go back to... No, let's just go home. I don't want to show too much in that room. Let's see. I obviously must have grabbed the wrong one, so let's take that one out. Which one? I think it's this one. 7. Let's try 7. Lucky number 7. Okay, let's make sure it's got some power in there. And we'll go to 7 now. Alright, this should be the right one. Just make sure. Pop in. It should be really... Okay, here we go. This was the first world that I made. You can see how bizarre it turned out. We've got these large orbs. Most of them seem to be made out of clay. And then we have an ocean of liquid meat. And what's truly disgusting is there's squids in it. Yeah, squids. So it's a bizarre looking world, but you can see all these little oil things. And now I'm getting some weird effects. I didn't get those last time. Okay. The bizarre thing with these normally these things will go down deep, and you'll see that when we get down into the stuff, that there's a little hole down there. Now normally these oil wells, when you see them like this, go very, very deep down into those, and there's a large sphere. Sometimes it's really big like these things, and down in there is where your big oil's at. That is not the case with these, and that's why I ended up chucking this world. It's a very shallow, too deep little indentation down there with oil. So your real oil is in these blocks here on top. So these big ones like that, you would get some, but it really doesn't go deep. So eventually we're going to get rid of that. And you can see initially I made an Archimedes ship trying to see if I could put a pump on it and then get myself placed directly over that. And these things are just not that accurate. So screw that. So I just ended up making, I would just place an angel block, put my pump. Hey, cat, really? Oh, there's a little girl cat outside, and it's just driving him bazonkers. My wife keeps feeding it, and he just can't stand that. But that's why we get rid of this. So what you're going to see next is we're going to go make a new biome and put together some other stuff and things with Buildcraft engines. So after the cut, we'll be back with that, and as soon as I go smack my cat around a little bit. See y'all in just a second. So I figured we go ahead and put this dimlet together ourselves. I'm going to leave this one powered up for now. You can see this one's only, I think it's 71, because this one is, what's it called? I can't remember what it's called, but it's, oh God, I hate that. You know what I mean? Where you put the dimensional shards on there and buffs it up. Something like that. So what we're going to do is a liquid oil dimlet, and we're going to say terrain normal, so hopefully it doesn't give us any weird stuff. And we're going to go with a deep ocean dimlet and a controller for a single dimlet. What this does is makes it the only biome in the world is the single dimlet. Now this one you can make, let me see, there's a couple you can make. Let me see, you can do default, if we can find default, like this one you could make, and then the single one you can also make. It's a little bit more expensive, you need these little dimensional shards, but these are really nice if you're looking for a single type world. Now I'm not going to add anything else because I don't want to add to the cost, so I don't really care about features, mobs. If there's any effects, what I'll do is I'll remake it, but we'll call this one Oil World, and then we'll say store. Okay, and that should be good. And I tell you what, let's go get our pump and stuff out of the other world for now. So we'll go here, because we don't want to keep it in this world. It's pumping it out pretty quick. That's why I'm thinking this other one is a better idea, even though it's going to cost us a lot more. RF. Break that and break that. Okay. And then we can just get out of here. Now we don't have to worry about that other dimension losing power. So we'll take this one out. Damn, 15,000? That's a lot more than I thought it was going to be. That's going to hit us pretty hard. 15,000 a tick. That is almost, that's pretty damn. That's just 10, what, 10, almost half of, more than half of what our reactor's producing, so we're okay there. But you know what? This mod, you must have a large power production to be able to use this. There's no way you could do this. I mean, you could, but I mean, if you just, let's say you just had like Buildcraft as your power, or even thermal expansion, something like that, it would be tough. It would be really, really tough to put out this much power per tick. I mean, you would have a massive, massive power generation type area to be able to handle something like that. So let's put this one away for now. And we'll go over here. Go down to oil world. Check it. Dialing's okay. So we're going to do base, oil world, dial once. Cross your fingers. I'll tell you what. Let's get this little thing out just in case. I don't want to die again in one of these worlds. I won't be able to get the hell out of there. Let's see what happened. What it looked like. Come on. Oh, freaky. Freaky deaky. And again, oil squids. Okay, so we have a pretty significantly huge... And they put these little water springs in here. That cracks me up. That's kind of funny. Okay. Well, it's deep. That's a lot of oil. So let's go ahead while we're here, and what we'll do is let's go ahead and put, which one is this? This one is fluid, so we'll put this one there, and then we'll put where did our pump go? We'll put that there. And then we will put Tesseract there. And we'll slap that right here. So now that should start going back to our base. Is it not going back? Yeah. Okay, yeah, no it is. Okay, the other side is full. That's probably why it's not that. But it is now. So wow, that is a lot of oil. But the problem is how long is this going to maintain? So let's go back and take a look at power usage. See how we're doing there. Where's my power? There we go. So we're at 98%. So it's, yeah, it's holding up. It typically will do that. We're not cutting into our calculator. Which, by the way, I did move. I moved it over... Where did I move it? There. I moved it kind of out to the water, just to kind of get it away from here. That's still in the chunk-loaded area, so it's fine right there. Just kind of gave it a lower profile, so you can't see it from... less likely to see it from the ground. So let's go back over and see what we're doing. Oh, this is closable, so we can close that up. I don't even see that's there. Yeah, I just gotta figure out how I'm gonna do lighting in here. This is not pumping out any oil right now. I don't know if it's because it's full. Yeah, it was just because it's full. Okay. I guess because I left the area, it didn't show anymore. So this is actually working pretty good. I like this. I like this ability to have, with this floodgate, you can kind of make your own tanks, multiple areas. I think that's pretty neat. It's a little bit cooler than the glass tanks. Now I do like the just for nostalgia reasons. I really like these glass tanks because you can see what's in them, and I think they hold more than they used to. This used to be like 8 buckets or something like that. These little lines, you could actually see how many buckets were in there, but it looks like they hold 48 buckets now, unless that is counting all of them together. But that wouldn't be right, because that would be 8, 16, yeah, no. So I'm going to guess they each hold 48 now, which so they've increased them. So that's actually quite a bit. That's a lot of liquid. It's a lot more than it used to be. Alright, so I'm going to let this cook up a little bit, and then I'm going to see about making some combustion engines, I think, and maybe see what other engines this fuel will burn in and what it'll do for us. So I'll be back in just a bit. Alrighty, I've kind of put this big monstrosity together here, and I'm running into some problems, so I'm going to ask for some help here. Hopefully some of y'all are more familiar with Buildcraft and its recent state than I am. What we have here is there are 20 combustion engines, and I stuck with Buildcraft for the entire build. I'd probably be a lot better off using other pipes, but it's the pipes I seem to be having problems with. Now what we have is these 4 engines and these 4 engines going to this diamond pipe, and all of the underneath here is all diamond piping. And then these 4 going to this one, and then, or I'm sorry, 8 and 8 go into those underneath, and then these 4, since it's right here, just go directly into this diamond pipe. And this holds the most energy of all of them. This one holds 10,240 RF. All these together only produce 1,200 RF, basically 1,200 RF for these 20 engines. And I made 40. I was going to make 2, but I wanted to see how one ran first, and thus did I run into the troublage. Now what we have is a redstone energy cell. It's charged up by this and then goes into this tesseract, and it's actually powering the pump in the other world. And then of course it's also, I hooked up a bedrockium drum here just so I didn't have to run that world all the time. I wanted to get as much out of there as I could. So you can see we're getting quite a bit out of there, and we're devastating it. And then underneath here is a tesseract, and then a pipe underneath comes to this refinery. So we have 2 refineries going into this big tank here, and it's of course filled up. Went and watched some movies and some TV and let that all do its thing. And then of course I built this big sucker. So out of this pump we have our fuel. It goes behind the wall here and comes out here, and then of course it goes to and then it comes out of course back there too. So on down there is fuel, up here is fuel, then up there is water, and then down here is water. Now here is the problem that I'm running into. When this thing runs, turns on, and all these things run, when it shuts off, as long as this thing is running and putting out power, everything maintains. This is full of water, these stay full of water. As soon as they shut off, this water pipe out here completely empties. I tried adding a second one, kind of see if maybe I could get more, but no. Not sure what's causing that. So if you can explain that to me. Now, I also don't like the limitations I'm having. Let's turn this off real quick. The limitations that I'm having. Now, this would be like if there's high energy stored in here, which it is. It's high energy. You would think, like right now, it would be putting out a red pipe signal. But if we go over here, oh, hold on, let's go this way. It does not. Okay. But if I change this to a low energy signal, now it's on and everything's running. Okay. Now it's going to run, it's going to fill it up. It's putting all that power out momentarily. Everything is putting its power out, and then once it gets full, it's going to start pumping it up and fluctuating like this, which I don't like. I mean, it looks kind of neat, kind of runs over there. But now you can see the water. See what I mean? Now that it's done on a full charge, all of a sudden the water drains out of there. So not really sure. I want to shut that off. Not really sure what is causing that, and because that's a little frustrating. I don't because it doesn't just drain out of there, it'll drain out of here too. Okay, it didn't that time. Huh. Usually drains out of these as well. Maybe it wasn't hot enough. I think what happens is the water somehow drains out here after that happens, and then to cool it off maybe, because when it runs for a while, of course, this heat will go up where they're blue right now on the ends here. Those will turn green once they're up and running for a little bit, and if you don't have enough coolant, of course, or the power doesn't have anywhere to go, then it will start to overheat. I don't know if these things will explode still. I think that's off in the config, but I'm not sure. I just briefly glanced at it to see what was in there. But if anybody knows what's causing that, or what causes that, it would be greatly appreciated. Now, to fix this issue, I think the only way to go would be with a redstone comparator, and to set it to only turn this on or put out a redstone signal when this sucker is empty or low. Would depend on the comparator signal that we use. Now, of course, I could. Damn. I have a daughter that does not know how to close a door. Every door she touches, car door, house door, it doesn't matter. It gets slammed. I feel sorry for any door that gets in front of her, man. Boom! But yeah, an RF tools. I wanted to stick to a completely Buildcraft build, but I don't think that's possible with the current selection on gates. Now, I wonder if I take this off and I put this here, will we get different options? You know, I didn't even think about that. Will I get options for... no, same options. Actually less. Energy. Yeah, see, that sucks. I would like a level, you know, less than, like an energy level for that, so I could say, because has work I don't like, because it'll flare it, and then low energy I don't like because it'll do the same thing. It'll just pulse this, and I don't like that either. I imagine that's bad if you were to try that on a server. So, if anybody knows how to do this in Buildcraft, please shoot me a message. Let me know. Leave a comment down there and let me know how to do that. But, I mean, it is possible to actually make a pretty significant power system using Buildcraft. It's just, it's going to be big. It's not going to be small. But then, of course, neither is the... If I built this as tall as the... If I used the space that I have the reactor in, it would probably be very, very close. It's just a lot harder to get the fuel, and I don't think it's as efficient for sure. I mean, you know, those reactors will go off of your Lorem for a very, very long time. So this was a nice little, this is a fun little project, putting in these tanks. At least I know these tanks work, and at least we know we can build us a pretty significant Buildcraft system if we need to. So that's going to do it for this time. I appreciate everybody coming by, and don't forget to like and or subscribe if you haven't. And until next time, I will see y'all later.